So hello friends. So in the last lecture we have seen the term about the solid solubility. So again in the chapter number 3 today we are just going to cover some another part which is related with uh, just to related with the some sort of that Gibbs phase rule and the terms which are required for the phase equilibrium diagram. So the basically whatever may be the solidification process, which is very important, how the solidification of the pure material or metal it has been occurred, that we will see. But before going for that, we will see what is the solidification process. So basically the solidification process is divided into the three terms or three main parts, that is the metal casting, second one is the glass working, and third one is the polymer and PMC processing, that is the polymer metal compound processings. So basically whatever may be the metal casting it is there, again it has been further classified into the two parts, that is the expandable mold casting and permanent mold casting, that is the solidification process, that is the expandable mold casting and permanent mold casting. So the expandable mold casting, that has been again divided into the next terms, that is the sand casting, then the shell casting, then vacuum molding, then expandable polystyrene, then the investment casting, then plaster mold casting and ceramic mold casting. So these are the classification of expandable mold casting. So basically these are not much important, only you should understand what is the classification of solidification process. Then in the next part we will just go and see what is the solidification of pure metal. So the permanent mold casting, that has been divided again into the next terms, that is the permanent mold casting, variation of permanent mold casting, die casting and centrifugal casting. So this is the classification of permanent mold casting. No need to mug up all those things, you just understand what is the classification of it, and then we will see what is the solidification process for the pure metal. So polymer and PMC processing, that has been again classified into the extrusion, injection molding, other molding and special molding for PMC. So all those terms will be there in the further engineering part, but right now we have to just understand about the solidification process, what is its classification, and then what is the solidification of pure metal. So this is the general classification of solidification process. So what is the solidification process? So the starting work material is either a liquid or in a highly plastic condition. So when we are going to start any work, that material is either in the liquid state or it is in the highly plastic condition, and a part is created through the solidification of the material. So basically just try to understand one thing, when we are watching about any kind of that casting, I will just give you one example. So might be we have seen the hub of wheel, hub in the sense where we are mounting the wheel, okay, of any truck, jeeps, anything. So that particular hub, in the Mahindra, suppose I will take the example, when the Mahindra is manufacturing any kind of that car or any high duty vehicle, so basically for the just to mount the wheel, where we are just again mounting the tires, okay, so just to mount the wheel we are required some sort of that base structure, and that particular base structure is called as a hub. So that particular hub, it is just manufactured with the some sort of that casting process. So just for that purpose we need some sort of that mold, where whatever the contents are there, suppose that cast iron, so basically in the furnace we have just added all those elements, okay, which will be that pigments we can say. So that pigments will be just manufactured, or that just to develop the cast iron, and that has been heated in the very high temperature in the furnace, and once that melting point has been achieved, all those particular cast iron that will be just converted into the liquid phase. So again that liquid we are pouring into the mold, and after some time gap, that is again when the temperature will be goes on reducing, so that has been converted into the solid. Okay, so similarly for the ice, I will just take the example ice. It is not the any kind of that metal, but when we have taken the water and when we are just increasing the temperature of that particular water, that is converted into the vapor part. But when we are cooling that particular water, that is converted into the ice. So ice, it is just a solid part of that particular water. So that any material that has been the different kind of that stages. So basically at the starting, the work material is either a liquid or it is in the highly plastic condition. So the solidification general classification I have shown in the last slide. But what is the general classification? We will see over here, that is the solidification process can be classified according to the engineering material process, and that basic three classifications are there. One is the metals, second one is the ceramics, that is specifically your glasses, and third is the polymer and polymer matrix composites. Okay, that is the PMC. Now solidification of metals. Some highlighting points we have to understood in this, and then you can be able to understand the remaining terms. And then in the last part we will see the Gibbs phase rule for the pure metal. So during the solidification, the liquid changes into the solid during cooling. So which is very important, that liquid changes into the solid during the cooling. So when we are going for the solidification process, so whatever may be the liquid, it is there. So take the example of water. When we are cooling that particular water below some 0 degrees Celsius, that is converted into the solid. Similarly, whatever may the heated material is there, metals are there, which is in the liquid form, which is having the very higher degree of temperature, near about 2400 2600 degrees Celsius temperature kind might be there. But when it is we are cooling it, cooling in the sense, not just take only the example of freezing. Okay, because cooling, when we are going with the concept of the cooling, that in our mind it is only one thing is there. When the cool, when we want to feel cool, we want the temperature below 10 degrees Celsius, below 0 degrees Celsius, and when then we are saying that it is the cool. But it is not like that. When we are reducing the temperature from 100 degree to 80 degree, again that part is known as a cooling process, because we are just reducing the temperature. So that cooling term, it is related to the reduction in the temperature, just only that much enough. Okay, cooling it is not in the sense below 10 degree. Cooling in the sense when we are reducing the temperature, that is from 100 to 80, 100 to 70, 100 to 60, all those part, it is known as a cooling. So the energy of liquid is less than that of solid above the melting point. So above the melting point, whatever the energy of liquid it is there, it is very less as compared with the solid. So hence the liquid is stable above the melting point. Okay, so when the energy of liquid is less, so that liquid it is in the stable form. So above the melting point, everything will be in the liquid. Okay, so that liquid will be in the stable position above the melting point. So this, which is very important. So above the melting point, there is no any kind of that solid part will be present over there, and that's why everything will be in the liquid state, majority of the part, and that's why the liquid is having the energy less than that of solid, and that's why that liquid is in the stable part. So below the melting point, the energy of liquid become more than that of solid. So and that's why whatever may be the below the melting point, the solid becomes more stable than that of liquid. Okay, so below the melting point, whatever may be all the liquid it is there, that is trying to convert into the solid part, and that's why that solid will be the more stable, in the more stable condition than that of liquid. Therefore, the melting point, the liquid gets converted into the solid. At melting point, just try to understand melting point in this sense, just that particular point when we start the cooling process. Okay, so at melting point, the liquid gets converted into the solid during the cooling. Okay, so when we are just start cooling it at the melting point, it will be converted into the solid. When we are again at the melting point, when we are providing the heat or increasing the temperature, it is converted into the liquid. So it is just melting point, it is just a point where whatever may be the metal it is there, when we are increasing the temperature above the melting point, it will be converted into the liquid. But when if you will start the cooling process, means reducing the temperature, that particular metal will be converted into the solid. So the solidification of metals and their alloys is in an important industrial process. So as far as that industry is again concerned, the solidification of metal is the very important part, not only to do the some sort of a structural alloy, okay, with some sort of that casting. I have given one example, whatever with the herb it is there. So initially we are just melting that particular cast iron, then we are pouring that cast iron into the mold in the sense which kind of that shape we are required. Okay, so on that initially that or we can say that is the rough part we are manufacturing initially, and then again we are using some CNC, some VNC just to achieve very closer tolerances and exact shape of that particular metal. So when we are manufacture the majority of component, this kind of that process has been followed. Initially we are just achieving the liquid state of that particular metal, then we are pouring it somewhere, then that is called as a casting, and then we are just doing some sort of machining process on it, and by doing the machining process we are achieving the exact shape and the closer dimensions as far as our need is concerned. So this is the basic part of any kind of that structural elements. So it also serves as a model to represent the first order phase transformation in general. So that is just a first order phase transformation in the sense liquid to solid or solid to liquid. Now initially just try to understand this particular phases, how that solidification process has been started. Okay, so initially it is a liquid. In the liquid state, very small nuclei acts as the center of the crystal spore. So very small nuclei is there. So once we have start reducing the temperature, the small dendrites are being to be developed into the nucleus. Okay, so these are the dendrites. Okay, so that has been start developing on it. So it is just example of our milk. When we are heating the milk, okay, when we are start heating the milk, there is some sort of that milk has been boiled, but after achieving some sort of that what we can say the exact boiling point, when we are off that particular flame, then some sort of that butter has been developed on that particular milk. Okay, so in that Marathi we are calling as an sai. Okay, so that particular butter has been start developing, or that one layer has been start developing, that is known as an dentries. Similarly, when we are start cooling the liquid, that dentries has been start forming. Then after the further reduction in the temperature, these kind of the dentries has been continually growing, and once the temperature is at the very lower, so basically most of the dentries has been formed, and at the end these kind of that grain boundaries of solidification structure we are achieved. Okay, so what is the solidification of pure metal? Initially when it is in the it is in the liquid state. Okay, so cooling of liquid, it has been start, solidification has been start beginning. Okay, so initially if it is in the liquid state, when the temperature has been reduced. Okay, so suppose the water it is there. I'm just giving the example of water because it is we are very having the very familiar phenomena. Don't compare that water with the metal. Okay, so when we are start cooling it, okay, means start reducing the temperature of it, it has been converting the phases of it. So initially the first phase what we have achieved, that is the combination of both, that is the liquid plus solid, means whatever the example I have given, that milk and butter, likewise. So both the stages are there at a certain temperature, okay, and after the solidification temperature, that is called as the solidification temperature, if the temperature goes below the solidification temperature, then we are achieve the solid state of that particular metal. So initially that metal which is in the liquid form, when we are start lowering the temperature, and when the temperature is comes to the solidification temperature, we are getting the both the state, that is the liquid and solid. And again when we are reducing the temperature, okay, we are getting the solid state. So once again when we are cooling that particular part, again we are achieving it. So this is the time and temperature dependent phenomena. So while drawing this, you should draw both these terms, time and temperature in it. Okay. So the specific gravity, the solidification, shrinkage, how it occurs. So that shrinkage of solid, how it forms, that has been explained over here. So the solidification, once that shrinkage of that liquid has been started, okay, so it has been start to convert into the solid, and that solidification shrinkage, and once again that cooling has been developed over here, we are getting the solid. So thermodynamically, both the liquid and solid have the equal energy at melting point. So which is very important. So basically when we are talked in the thermodynamically term, both the liquid and solid have the equal energy at the melting point. So when melting point, it is just start converting that solid into the liquid when we are increasing the temperature. Okay, so when we are increasing the temperature, when the melting point has been achieved, at that particular point liquid and solid have equal energy, and therefore both are equally stable at melting point. So at the melting point both are equally stable. Okay, but if you are increasing the temperature, that liquid will be in the stable state. If it is lower the temperature than that melting point, the solid will be in the stable condition. So therefore no solidification or melting will be takes place at melting point. So in the melting point there will be no any solidification nor the melting. Then liquid will be remain liquid and solid will be remains solid. So at the melting point, whatever may be the part converted into the liquid, that will be remains present into the liquid form, and whatever may be the part has been converted into the solid, that will be remains present as a solid. Okay, so some undercooling will be essential for the solidification. So at the melting point, if we are reducing the temperature, that is called an undercooling. So below the melting point, if the temperature will be goes below the melting point, the solidification will be started. Okay, so this transformation occurs by the nucleation. So whatever nucleation phase I have shown in this particular, that is the nucleation, so that these are the small nucleus are there, and that has been formed the dendrites. So this transformation occurs by the nucleation. Now just to understand this particular term, solidification of pure metals, a thin skin of solid metal is formed at a cold mold wall immediately after the pouring. So here we can be able to see the thin skin of solid metal is formed at the cold mold wall immediately after the pouring. So when we are poured the whatever the metal over there, that is the liquid metal, we can say immediately these walls are very thin, and that's why the some sort of that immediate solid metal will be formed at this particular wall. So the skin thickness increases to form a shell around the molten metal as a solidification progresses. So once the solidification will be gets progressed, the thin skin will be start developing, okay, from outside towards the inside, and that is called as a solidification. So the rate of freezing depends on the heat transfer into the mold as well as the thermal properties of the metal. So whatever will heat transfer or that freezing is there, that will be depends on the heat transfer into the mold, whatever the heat has been transferred, and the thermal properties of that particular metal. So which is also important because every metal is having the different kind of the thermal properties, and that's why those properties are affecting on the freezing process of those. So this is the randomly oriented grains of small size near the mold wall. Here we can be able to see that randomly oriented grains, because once we have poured metal, that grains has been forming near the walls, and that's why slowly it has been converted into the solid state, and a large columnar grains oriented towards the center of the casting. So these are the grains will be start forming at the center of that particular casting, and these are the some sort of that grains. So whatever may be the Gibbs phase rule for all those metal, first only we will see what is the meaning of cooling curves over here, and then we will see the next part into the next lecture. Okay, so that all the terminology related to the cooling curve, that just I will highlight over here, and again in the next lecture we will cover this particular part. So the cooling curves is the graphical plot of phases of element on temperature versus time, and these the most common cooling curves are for the pure metal, for binary solid solution, for eutectic binary alloy, and for off eutectic binary alloy. So these terms we will cover into the next lectures. So I hope you have enjoyed this particular lecture, and once again just go with the two previous lectures, and then we will just cover the next part, that is the cooling curves. Okay, so thank you very much. How we are applying the Gibbs rules onto the cooling curves, which is very interesting and important part. In the next lecture we will cover it. Okay, thank you very much.